Jim is with us in Tampa, Florida to kick off this hour. Hey, Jim, how are you?
How are you guys doing?
Great. How can we help?
Wonderful. Well, Dave, the first thing that I'm going to ask for you is to not yell at me for making a stupid financial decision that I'm about to tell you.
I have a rule. The first caller of the hour, I never yell at them. So you're in luck.
Dave, I have been following your financial principles for a while now. And right now, we're on baby step 6, so we're almost done paying off our home. We're actually, probably by either the end of this year or the beginning of next year, we'll be paying off our home. So we're really good on that.
Wonderful.
I am very upset because we hustled into a timeshare.
You what?
And you already know where this is going.
You what into a timeshare?
We got invited to one of the timeshare presentations, and I'll be honest with you, I was just really ready to say no. My wife was with me, and they were painting a picture to her that I'm not trying to blame this on my wife, by the way, but they were painting a picture to her that I was like, oh goodness, it's kind of hard to say no. Here's my point.
You bought a timeshare.
This was last year. This was last year. And we said, well, okay, I guess we're going to get one. So we got one, and we actually already paid it in full. And my question is, should I still try to get rid of it? Because honestly, I'm just upset at the fact that I even got it. Or should we, since we already paid for it, and I know we still have the maintenance fees and all that kind of stuff, should I maybe try to take a little bit of advantage of it, before I decide to get rid of it?
Mm-hmm.
You probably don't hear that, hey, I have a paid-for timeshare.
Yeah, we do, but I don't hear of people ready to pay off their house who go and buy a timeshare very often. But
I know, and that's the
fairly
part
unusual.
I'm really upset about. That's the part I'm really upset about.
Jim, did you initially say that you got hustled into buying one?
Well, yes. So we got into the presentation, when we got into the presentation, really nice people, by the way. But they were like, they won't take no for an answer. And,
yeah, they're just pleasant.
And so because of that, it was like, well, okay, and then we're just like, okay, you're trying to be nice, but at the same time, you don't want to get ripped off. So, with
Jim, settle down. Hold on. Jim, you're rambling. Yeah. Listen, do you and your wife use this thing?
Well, they just got it.
We just got it.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, it's completely up to you, brother, whatever you want to do. I think that what you're going to discover is what 97% of the people discover, that timeshares suck, and that the fees are going to go up, and you're going to feel trapped into using that unit. All the stuff they promised you about being able to trade points with somebody else is not going to happen. And that the industry is scummy, scammy, and bad news. And you're not going to get, you're going to discover you're not going to get delivered what you were promised and told by those sweet people who are pressuring the crap out of you, which is kind of an oxymoron if you think about it. But if you want to play with it for a year or two and discover all this for yourself, you do whatever you want to do, man. It's your money. I think you're going to get not only increasingly disgusted with yourself for having bought it, but increasingly disgusted with the whole process.
Yeah.
And I think that's what you'll discover. But it's okay if you wait until you get there before you pay Timeshare Exit Team to get you out, Right.
Well, initially I was hoping, maybe I can get like a refund, especially during these times that I know that's not realistic.
Not from those people.
No.
Yeah, and so I would give anything. I would give anything to, to go back in the past and, not do that. But
they don't let fish off the hook once they got one. So I think you're just going to wallow in it until you get disgusted enough to pay somebody to get out of it. But you're not only going to lose the fee you pay Timeshare Exit Team to get out of it, you've lost all the money you put into it. So, given all of that, you may want to, like Chris said, you may want to play with it for a year or two and just see. But I think what you're going to find is you're going to get increasingly disappointed in the organization because they're scummy and scammy.
Yeah. And I would say this, Dave, I think we all have to go through our stupid tax phases We all have to, and I think the learning thing from that is, all right, a couple of things. I tell people, you want to make 2-year decisions. You want to make a decision that you look back on in 2 years and you're glad that you made it. And if it sounds too good to be true, my friends, then it is. It truly is.
There's the industry, the timeshare industry is widely known for putting you into a room and pressuring you like no one else, like no other business does, and lying and cheating and making promises that they don't keep. They've had hundreds of thousands of dollars of fines. They've settled lawsuit after lawsuit for fraud. It's a known scummy business. Most people kind of know that. Jim knew that. Mm-hmm. And then if you know that, then there's another part you need to know. And do you know yourself well enough to know that you have trouble saying no? Now, me, I do talk radio. I eat conflict for breakfast.
Yeah, you don't have a problem saying no.
I don't have a problem saying no.
No, you don't.
No, Chris. No.
I've heard that a lot.
I can just say no. I mean, I've gotten real comfortable in my own skin, real comfortable. So I'm not even going to be in the room to start with, because I don't want to be in a room with people I have to take a shower after I'm in the room with them.
But Dave, it's a free dinner.
And so it's a free vacation for the weekend in a crappy butt little dumpy hotel room. And so just go buy you a crappy butt little dumpy hotel room. You'll come out much better off. But
cheaper.
If you know about yourself, like I know about myself that I don't have any trouble saying no. I'm still not going to enter it just because I don't like being around that kind of people. They're just gross.
Right.
But then, in addition to that, if you're just a person who says, my wife is that way. She can say no, but she wants to avoid conflict. Wants everybody to be happy. Everybody's not going to be happy. And so she would be in there. If she knows that about herself, she knows if she goes in that room, she's about to get tattooed.
That's right.
It's going to come off bad.
That's right.
And so if you know about yourself that you have trouble saying no,
that's right.
For God's sake, stay out of those rooms.
Yep.
Because you're going to come out of there owning a freaking timeshare.
Hey, Dave, it's like my buddy. Every year, at the beginning of the year, he would go look at trucks. Yeah. And I told him,
one of them is going to jump. The keys are going to jump in your pocket.
Go get the payment. He didn't hear from him for 2 weeks. I said, what happened? We made a bet. He goes, I got the truck. I said, you got that payment, didn't you? I said, stop looking, dummy. Go home.
People will read Consumer Reports and study for 73 hours on which $600 phone to buy, and then they impulse an $80,000 Porsche. The same dadgum guy.
It's a problem.
It's a problem. If you know this about yourself, protect yourself from yourself. That's a good rule, because otherwise you get to have these problems. And I'm so sorry, Jim. Sorry you got this mess, man. But you'll figure it out. You'll get through it. This is the Dave Ramsey Show.